expensive. We're staying at room 13. Usually airy and usually very, and that's just how my life goes. And I don't ever try to dress to impress. Fuck you, preppy asshole. On the 14th floor and a bathroom door don't lie. So happy we don't gotta worry about the cops. We could all get arrested for this, but when the police mix, I don't give a shit tonight. Alright. Now she walks in the bedroom fast, despite all the noise from the crowd. Now she's bedless on the bathroom sink. Her mother would be so proud. Gets on the deed and there's a line to go pee, but the bathroom looks like a war zone.
Welcome in to episode 43 of Phired Up, presented by the Belly Up Podcast Network. Check them out at bellyupsports.com. My name is Mike Giletto, and joining me, as always, is Dom Console. Dom, what's going on, dude?
What's up, man? How you doing?
I'm doing just fine. Listen, I'll be totally honest. There really wasn't a whole lot this week in the sports world, right? So we're gonna have some fun today.
Okay.
All right, I'll just say that. I'll tease that. We'll have some fun.
Yeah, and before we start the show, I just want to say, 43 episodes in, and I still get the pre-record nerves. I still get the fired up from the video. So,
Absolutely.
43, 143,043.
Yeah.
It's always gonna be that way, baby.
Right, exactly. Yeah, and we're approaching 50, so it's a pretty big milestone.
Yep.
And I'll tease it a little bit. You're gonna be on your honeymoon
I am
for our 50th show, so you won't be here.
Yeah.
But I'll have a guest on and have a show without you, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll call you live from Cali. Who knows?
Sounds good to me. I don't know. Do I get a say on who the guest is? I mean, I
sure.
I heard some rumors.
You did hear some rumors, yeah.
I mean,
you did.
The way I've been treated from him in the past, I don't know if I'm going to allow it.
That's fine. Hey, listen, we'll have to take it up between you two guys.
No, I'm just kidding.
Listen, you're right. You get final say. If you don't like the guest, then that's totally fine. But that's a little tease for you. We'll we'll talk about that when it gets closer. But so listen, not a whole lot in the Sixers world. What day did we go to the game? The Celtics game? What day was that? Was that last Tuesday? So
was
it was last
Tuesday?
Tuesday. Yeah, you text me at like 6 o'clock, 6:15.
Yeah.
Hey, I got some tickets to the game tonight. Do you want to go? And listen, they lost by like damn near 50, but it was a great time. Got club box seats, free food. It's fine. It all worked out.
I would say everything except the game and getting there was a lot of fun.
Getting to the arena is an absolute nightmare.
Yeah. I mean,
it's a nightmare.
Listen. They should just have. I mean, we talked about it when we were there. We went to the game together, to park together.
Yep.
But dude, it is. Whoever, if anybody's listening, watching, just do yourself a favor and go like an hour and a half before the game.
Yeah.
Because even if you go a half hour before the game and you think, we'll have time to get in there, park, do if you want to go to the store, if you want to get food, whatever you want to do, you're not going to have time because it's going to take freaking forever, and it's a madhouse, and it's so unorganized.
There's no cops directing traffic.
Like there are people driving on the wrong side of the street.
People just do what they want.
Yeah. So
there's no laws.
Yeah. I might be a little late to tell you people into the season, but
right.
If it's a 7 o'clock tip, get there like 5:30.
Right. You won't have that problem for Flyers games though, because nobody goes.
Right.
So listen, I guess it's a good problem to have. Right, yeah, true. I guess it's a good problem to have, though, because that means the team's doing well. Obviously, they got absolutely destroyed that game. Lost by damn near 50. But, that's just one of the games where you just aren't hitting your shots, and the team you're playing against is hitting basically everything. Those nights just happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So. And there were good for a Tuesday night game. There were a good amount of Celtics fans there. And, we
sure.
sat next to some.
Yeah.
I talked to one of them for a brief minute or two. But But yeah, I mean, it was like you said, it's just one of those games where they just couldn't hit anything, they couldn't stop anything.
Yep.
They were just letting open threes, open threes being shot. Like it was just a mess. It was a mess.
Yeah, I think Jaylen Brown had like 26 points in the first quarter.
He finished 28
finished
or
29. With 29. Yeah.
Yeah. Same thing with Tatum. I think Tatum had a crazy amount early on. But I'd have to say this though, like it was one of those games where like halfway through the second quarter, we were just like, yeah, this is over. Like,
exactly.
we were prepared for it. Like,
we were just enjoying the food at that point.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I always want to see my team win, but like, I'd rather go to a game where they're playing the Celtics and they're in it to the last shot of the game, and they lose. Like, if they lose, like, at least we were in for a good game. Like,
for sure,
it stings, but like,
right?
I don't know. That's the thing is like, if you're a Celtics fan or like even if you're a Sixers fan and it's the other way around, like, how much could you really enjoy that? Right. You know, like even though you
were never in it, like, or,
right.
The game was never close. Like,
well, that's what I'm saying.
You really
you're
couldn't
the winning
enjoy
team. I mean,
right? Yeah. You really can't enjoy a win like that. I mean, it's fun at first in the first quarter. You're putting up all these points and you get out to a big lead, but the rest of the game was just a giant lull.
Yeah, I would have left it like the end of the third quarter if my team was up that big. I don't know.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Well, I don't know about that because I mean, our team was down that big and we stayed for the entire game. So
yeah, but like we stayed for a different reason. We had free food, so like
yeah, that's true. Yeah,
we just kept going back.
Yeah. By the end of the game, we were the only one in the box. Yeah, the only ones in the box. So
yeah, the dude who's cleaning like the box, like the suite, is like, he's like, yeah, guys, have a good night. Like he's just sitting there waiting for us to leave. Like
pretty much, he wanted to wrap up and get out of there.
Yeah.
So Harden is expected to make his debut with the Sixers on Friday. So we haven't seen what this lineup's going to look like with him. So I think I'm excited. You're excited. The city's excited. It'll be interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm counting down. I wish they played sooner.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun. It's must watch TV that night. You got plans, you better cancel them. Kind of night. I mean, unless you're going to watch the game somewhere, but yeah, I mean, it's gonna be a lot of fun. We're gonna see I think. How many games do they have left? Like 24, I think it is. So it's not a ton. It's not the biggest amount of games where you're saying to yourself, I hope they find that chemistry. But it's going to take a few games probably. But hopefully it's enough to get them enough chemistry to get into the playoffs and go on a run.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm trying to look up their schedule now to see how many games they got left. Hold on.
I think they have 24. And people are like you'd probably be happy if they won like 18 or 19 of that 24, kind of deal.
Yeah, they do have 24 games left.
Okay,
so
yeah, it was a late All-Star game this year.
Yeah, yeah. Did you watch any of the All-Star game?
I watched
or any of the skills competition or whatever they call it.
So Friday. So Friday night. I was at Xfinity Live. We watched a little bit of the Rising Stars game.
Okay.
Like the first year and the second year players.
Right.
We watched a little bit of that. We watched a little bit of like theirs because they do like a skills competition. Didn't watch a second of it on Saturday. I heard how horrible the dunk contest was.
It's been like that for the last number of years though. Like the days of a Vince Carter are long gone.
That's not true. The best dunk year was 2016.
Was it? I'll have to go back and
easily.
Watch, but like
the 2 years Aaron Gordon was in it, he got snubbed both years. I think it was 16-17 or 15-16. It was like some of the best dunk contests I've ever seen.
I'll have to go back and watch, but I feel like the players now are growing up in a 3-point era where like everybody's just throwing threes up, so nobody really practices dunks. I feel like anymore as much as they used to.
No, I mean people definitely slam. It's just the issue today is that like look at the dunk contest. Look at the best dunkers in the league. John Morant, he's not doing that. He's playing in the All-Star game tomorrow. He's not dunking. Like, you know what I mean? Zion Williamson hasn't been healthy in 2 years. Maybe you can get Miles Bridges, who's a great dunker. It's just they don't get these guys to go out and do it. Like, I don't know if necessarily know it's because everybody's shooting threes. I just think that it's just becoming more of a why like LeBron never did it because he never wanted to take part in something he thought was so silly. Like, I don't know if it's necessarily like, oh, I want to shoot threes, so I'm not going to be as good of a dunker. I just think people are like, yeah, the dunk contest just isn't.
Yeah, but like, It shouldn't I say something about your league then if the players in it don't want to be a part of it? Like, I mean, I brought up Vince Carter. I mean, he was a superstar. I mean, he's not a LeBron, obviously,
right.
but
no, he's still a Famer.
He's still a superstar, and he wanted to do it, and his dunks were, I mean, just insane. The elite level, entertaining, must watch TV. So the fact that maybe the All-Stars don't want to do it now probably says more about maybe either the athletes or the league, or I don't know what it really says.
Yeah, no, you're probably right. And also, look at the guys who did the 3-point contest. Like, Karl-Anthony Towns won. Like, he's probably one of the greatest one of the greatest big men to shoot a 3 ever. But like, come on, like him and Kevin, like I don't know.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
I don't know.
No, I get you. But like, but also to the dunk thing is like, I feel like we've seen so many dunks and people try a whole bunch of stuff. Like, a lot of it's just stale now because we've seen it all.
Yeah, that could definitely be part of it too. I mean, there was a video I think it was a couple weeks ago. So Zach LaVine and Aaron Gordon went back to back. I think it's 16-17. Like I was telling you earlier, so it was either 15-16 or 16-17. So they did like they filmed like the Bulls practice, and they did like I think 3 of the guys on the Bulls have participated in the last like 5 years, and they did like a dunk contest in practice or whatever, and they were unbelievable. And it's like, if these guys can like come up with it, why can't it's just when you have no names, like people that don't know these players who are doing a dunk. I couldn't even tell you who was in the dunk contest, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I couldn't.
And I love the NBA. Like, I love watching basketball. Even the 3-point contest, the only guy I knew there was Karl-Anthony Towns because he won. Like, I just saw it on Twitter. So like, it's definitely something that that I think a lot of people lost interest, especially me. Like, when I was a kid, you needed to sit on the couch and watch all weekend, like the 3-point contest and the dunk contest. And I remember Andre Iguodala, I think it was his second year in the league. Iverson threw it off the back of the backboard. He grabs it, comes underneath, and dunks it. Like, that was unbelievable.
Yeah,
Dwight Howard jumping over a car was unbelievable. Like,
right? Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, there's so many issues with it. I don't know. I don't know the answer.
Right now,
and if I did, I would be making a lot more money than I do now. So,
right, exactly. So I did post a poll, and I wanted to get your thoughts. I posted a poll over the weekend. Which league has the best All-Star game? Obviously,
All-Star game,
the All-Star game, yeah,
like specific game. The MLB.
The MLB. That, for what it's worth. So this poll had 106 votes. 58% said MLB. That was the clear winner. And I tend to agree. Just because it's the only game that doesn't change. It's like, it's exactly what it is. Like, the All-Star game doesn't change because it's an All-Star game. It's just baseball.
Right.
So
I think I mean, and don't get me wrong, I don't think the MLB All-Star game, these guys play as hard as they do in a real game, but they do play the hardest out of every sport.
Right.
So like, these NBA players are just shooting through. Like, Steph Curry was bananas last night, but like, he also shot like 27 threes. Like,
right, like, yeah. It's not a game; it's a shoot around.
Like, right. So like, Joel Embiid getting 36 last night. Like, wasn't that impressive because they're allowing you to dunk. Like, the same thing with hockey. It's 3-on-3. Nobody wants to get hurt. Like, and I don't blame them, but like, have a little bit of pride, And I feel like the MLB has a little bit of pride when they play.
Right, for sure,
and it was a lot of fun a couple years ago when I was in Washington, and Scherzer was going up against Trout, and like, you could hear Scherzer like scream as he's trying to throw the ball as hard as he possibly can. And it's like,
I forget who it was, either last year or 2 years ago. Ohtani went against somebody, and it was like, oh no, it was Ohtani was batting, and who was he against? Was it DeGrom, or was it Scherzer?
It wasn't last year because DeGrom was hurt last year.
That's right. It might have been Scherzer because it was supposed to be Wheeler and Scherzer for the starter. I think it was.
Right.
Scherzer ended up starting, and then he was going against Ohtani for the first at bat, and like, it was competitive. It was the best against the best, and it didn't feel like sugar coated at all. So.
Yeah.
So I agree. All right. Anything else you got for the Sixers? I mean, they've been on break, so we really can't dissect too much.
Nah, not really. I mean, I'm just really pumped to see. I'm pumped that our next show will be able to actually break them down with Harden. But I'll be watching. Yeah, I'm just pumped to actually see them play together. Him and Embiid, him with Maxey. Tobias. I'm just anticipating how it's going to look, and I'm kind of in the back of my mind. It's kind of like what can go wrong because I'm a Philly fan, but like
yeah. I mean, listen, things can go wrong. We know
right, very quickly. So yeah, but I'm just really looking forward to that, and I can't wait to break it down.
Absolutely.
Finally, break down Harden with the Sixers. We've been waiting the last week and a half, 2 weeks.
Right, exactly. So yeah, I think we're all excited for it. But
yeah,
let's move on. So listen, we took a break from it last week.
Yep.
Let's go back to it and let's do some trivia.
Okay. Yeah, man, we're firing in early this week.
Listen, we're gonna have a lot more fun later. So
yeah,
we gotta get it out of the way nice and early.
Okay, so we're going back a little bit to Michael, our best fan.
Okay.
He shot me out a couple more trivia questions to give you.
Okay.
So what's he got here? He's got 1 Flyers,
all right,
2 Eagles, and 2 Phillies.
Let's go with the Flyers.
Okay. So the first question here for the Flyers: which player recorded 123 points in a single season?
That would be, I believe, Mark Recchi.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
It is correct. 1992-93. I feel like we've had this question before, but I couldn't remember.
I don't know if we had that specific question. I think it was something similar, like who. I don't know if you said the number, but I think you said who holds the record for the most amount of points in a single season. I think
yeah,
was a question
I've fired so many questions at you. It's so hard to remember anymore.
Right.
Okay, so we got the 2 Eagles and 2 Phillies. Where we go?
Hit me with the Eagles.
Okay, so if you don't get this one, I'm gonna be really disappointed because you don't pay attention to what I say then. Because I told you 100 times that I've been to this game.
Okay.
This is my first Eagles game in 2006, I believe. Who returned an interception for 102 yards to win the game in Terrell Owens' return to Philadelphia as a Cowboy?
Oh God, I do remember you saying that you were at this game.
You can get bonus points if you know who threw the pick.
Answer
the Eagles first.
Was it Romo? I mean,
no, it wasn't Romo.
Okay, really? In 2006? Wasn't there yet?
It was either 05 or 06.
Fuck. Troy Vincent.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
It was not Troy Vincent.
Who was it?
Lito. I remember singing that as walking out of the game.
Yeah.
So do you know who threw the pick?
No, I mean my guess was Romo. I mean,
it was not. It was a left-handed quarterback.
Left-handed quarterback.
Yep.
No idea.
All right, I'm just double checking that I got this right. Hold on.
So you're gonna ask me a bonus question and not even know the answer to it?
All right, we'll go to the next question and we'll go back to that.
All right. Fair enough.
All right, so the next Eagles in 2004-2005 season, which Eagle emerged somewhat as McNabb's go-to guy in the absence of Terrell Owens, with 3 catches for 30 or more yards in the playoffs?
Chad Lewis.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
Not Chad Lewis. Good guess.
Was it one of Pinkston or Thresh?
It was not.
Okay, I have no
think
clue.
Thresh was gone by this point.
That's what I thought too. So I thought Chad Lewis was the answer.
Another
Brent
young
Selleck?
guy.
No.
So this guy, he was actually a coach for the Eagles, receivers coach for the Eagles.
Greg Lewis.
Lewis.
Did I get him confused? Maybe I got him confused. Who the hell knows? It was one of the Lewises.
Yeah, it's Greg Lewis.
Yeah, no, I know, but I said Chad Lewis. Didn't I?
Oh yeah.
Maybe I got him confused. Who knows? I was half right. Just give me that.
Okay, I'm still trying to look this up.
It shouldn't be that hard of a thing to look up.
No, it shouldn't. But I got to go through like starting quarterbacks.
Yeah.
Hold on. Are
you there yet? What?
Okay, I got it.
Okay, all right.
So you have no idea?
No clue.
It's Drew Bledsoe.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I never would have gotten Drew Bledsoe.
Yeah, I don't even know if he's left-handed. I just kind of made that up, but Okay, so we got two Phillies here. In what year did the Phillies win over 100 regular season games?
In what year did the Phillies win over 100 regular season games? Would this have been 2009?
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
It is not 2009. It's that era.
Yeah. Not 2011. Was it 2011?
2011. Yep.
Yeah, okay. I got those years fucking flip-flopped. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, it was the year that they lost to the Cardinals in the first round. They had this dominant pitching staff. They should have probably won the World Series that year. They were dominant. They were great.
They had an unbelievable roster. I mean, I think Howard at first, Utley at second, Rollins at short, Polanco at third.
Yep.
Ibanez in left, Victorino at center, Worth in right, Chooch catching.
Yep. No, I was actually thinking of that year because I was thinking of the year that they lost to the Cardinals in the first round. Yeah. 09. Obviously, they go to the World Series against the Yankees, but I should have got 2011 right.
Yeah, and then like you said, the pitching staff: Halladay, Lee, Hamels,
the four
Oswalt, and Blanton. Yeah. All right, so last question here. The Phillies made their third straight postseason run in 2009 in the National League Division Series Game 1. The Phillies won 5-1 against the Colorado Rockies. Which pitcher pitched a complete game holding the Colorado Rockies to only one run?
So I'm gonna say Cole Hamels.
Is that your final answer?
Yes.
It is not Cole Hamels.
Roy Halladay?
He was not here until 2010.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Cliff Lee?
Cliff Lee.
Okay.
Yep. So Cliff Lee came here, but then was traded to get Roy Halladay, and then they traded then they signed him back in the offseason.
Right. That makes sense.
After 2010, I guess it was. I don't know.
Right.
Yeah. So.
All right. Fair enough. What'd I go? 1 for 5? Or did I get 2 questions?
Yes. Right? No. Yeah. 1 for 5. You got Recchi.
Right. All right. I'll take it. 1 for 5. Listen, Michael, good questions. You stumped me, so that's fine. I feel like I was right around the ballpark for most of them. I was close.
Yeah.
But, struck out.
Yeah, I mean, swinging. It's not like you said like the 2009 it was Steve Carlton. I mean,
right, exactly. Yeah.
It was just which ace.
Right, exactly.
Right.
So listen, we're going to move on. So on Twitter today, I posted something about us doing just an Ask Us Anything, right? People can, reply and just ask us random questions and we'll answer it. So we have a few questions here, and I'll ask and we'll both answer. So the Sideline Summit Pod, which is a new Belly Up podcast.
Okay.
So go check those guys out. The Sideline Summit Pod.
And listen, before we get into these, you guys have to understand it was a slow sports week.
It really was. It really.
So
really was.
No football. I mean, I don't know what you were doing on Sunday, but I was bored out of my mind.
We took our kids to the aquarium Sunday afternoon. That's what we did.
Okay. So. But like before and after, I'm assuming you were just as bored. Yeah.
Yes. Nothing.
Right. So.
So they.
All right, let's get into these.
Who do you think takes the Week 1 start for the Eagles at quarterback?
I think that's a really loaded question. I think it's kind of tough to answer. What's today? The 21st, February 21st.
Yep.
It's really hard to say. As of right now, I mean, you got to say Jalen Hurts, but like, is there a chance Russell Wilson comes here? We've talked about it numerous times on the show. Like, obviously, like if there's a chance he comes here. I don't think they go after Rodgers. I don't think they go after Deshaun Watson. It's either gonna be Russell Wilson or
Jalen Hurts.
If they surprise us. I don't think they'll go with a quarterback, but you never know, they could surprise us.
Yeah, they could go with like a Jimmy Garoppolo, which God forbid.
Well, no, I don't think that's gonna happen. There have been reports coming out that said like they're not interested in Garoppolo at all. But I'm just saying, drafting a quarterback, I don't think they draft one.
Right. But yeah, and I agree. I think it's either Hurts or Russ. I'm leaning towards Hurts because I just don't think the trade market's gonna. I don't see Howie making a move for Russ. Okay. I just don't. Okay. So I think ultimately it'll be Hurts.
Okay.
All right, Ryan McCarthy, another Belly Up guy, host of No Credentials Required. Pat's, Geno's, or others for best cheesesteak?
Oh boy.
Listen. He said Pat's and Geno's in there. I'm just gonna give him a pass. He's a New York guy. it's a tourist spot. All right, we're not even going to mention those among the best, right? Because they're whatever.
Okay. Let's have this conversation. Okay.
This could be a whole podcast in itself.
Yeah. So, listen, Geno's and Pat's. I grew up in South Philly. I'm South Philly born and raised. I still live here. I have walked to these places and walked back. I've never had Pat's in my life. I'll be completely honest. I've never had Pat's. I've had Geno's. It's like the way people talk about Geno's though is like it's the worst thing you could possibly put in your mouth, and like that's just not true. Like
that's not true.
It's not the best cheesesteak, but like
no.
Like if you're gonna like, it's by far probably you could probably find 100 more worse cheesesteaks to eat. Like to be honest with you, like. Out of the two, I prefer Pat's over Geno's. Again, I've never had Pat's, so I can't say
it's better. I think they're almost identical.
Yeah.
Geno's has good fries. I will say that
they do.
Are delicious.
Listen, the staple of Geno's is when you're drunk at 3 a.m. and you're hungry, you go to Geno's, you get a cheesesteak, and it's the best cheesesteak in the world. And
I think I've said this to you before or something similar, but I also have a hot take.
You hate cheesesteaks, I know.
No, I don't hate cheesesteaks. I love cheesesteaks, but I think you could actually get a more. I'm not going to say better. You could get more consistent cheesesteaks in actually Jersey than Philly, personally.
I will say I have had good cheesesteaks in Jersey. I'm not going to say Jersey doesn't have good cheesesteaks.
Yep.
But I think if you go to the right places, that might change your mind.
Maybe, but I have 3 with a close 4. For cheesesteaks in the city.
What do you mean?
For like my top 3 or 4.
Okay.
No, go ahead. Close 4. So
what are they? I'm curious.
So Angelo's.
I've never had Angelo's, so I can't.
That's probably number 1.
Yeah.
Number 2, Jim's on South Street, and number 3, Ishkabibbles.
Okay.
And then 4 is a close 4, and a lot of people shit on it because it's a chain. Tony Luke's, I think, is
Tony really Luke's is great. No, Tony Luke's is great. I think Tony Luke's is top 5.
Okay. It's number 4 for me.
I would say my favorite is probably, and look, I've never had Angelo's. Angelo's is newer. It's a place you have to go. You have to pick it up, pay cash. Like,
yep.
That's just ancient to me. So like, I'm so used to doing everything over the phone and like just deliver it and like,
Yeah.
But I have never and people have told me that John's roast pork is the best cheesesteak in the city. I've never had that either, and I live 25 feet from it. So like
that's weird to me. And I've been to John's roast pork, but like if you're going to a place that has roast pork in the name, you get roast pork, right?
But there's also a place called Rocco's that's like Rocco's Italian sausage or whatever it's called, and it's like their cheesesteaks are really good too.
You get their sausage. You get what's in the name. Like I go to Nick's Roast Beef to get a roast beef sandwich, not to get whatever.
No, I got
else they have on them. You get what's in the name because that's what they do. That's their specialty.
Yeah, but like sometimes
I'm not going to Taco Bell for a burger. Like, you know what I mean? Like you do what you do.
But like would you go to an Italian restaurant and eat steak?
No, I'm gonna eat your pasta.
See, I disagree. I would eat steak at an Italian restaurant.
I'm going to a steakhouse to eat steak. If I'm in the mood for steak, I'm not going to an Italian restaurant. I'm going to go to a steakhouse.
Well, all I'm saying is Italian restaurants have good steak too. Like
I'm sure they do.
The same thing with John's roast pork.
Sure.
Has a good cheesesteak from what I've heard. I've only ever been there once. Like I said, I live 25 feet from it, so like,
are you that close? Is it that close?
It's probably like a 10-minute walk.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Next time I pick you up and we go to a game, we'll pick it up on the way to the arena.
Yeah. Well, if it's a Sixers game, we got to go at like 3:00.
So that's also true. Yeah.
But the issue with it is they close as soon as they sell out, like Angelo's.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So like on a Saturday, like if you don't have a cheesesteak by like 11:30, you're not getting one. Like
right. Yeah.
So that's really the biggest issue of why I've never had them. And like sometimes they're open and sometimes they're not. So like you just kind of have to like wing it. Funny story about it actually, really quick. The only time I've ever been there was the day my niece was born. Me and my brother-in-law. We went at like 8 a.m. and he had been up all night, of course. So like we went and he like got a cheesesteak at like 8:30 in the morning. And I'm just like, dude, I can't do that. Like, yeah, I listen. You definitely do get it. I don't, but Yeah, I mean, like, it's the only time I've ever been there. I didn't have anything to eat, but Ishkabibble's is good. Jim's is very good.
Yep.
Jim's is probably second on my list. Rocco's, like I said, Italian sausage. They do really good cheesesteaks. That's probably like third. That's probably my go-to, like, non crazy, like well-known cheesesteak spot, like Jim's and Ishkabibble's and
right.
But the best one I've probably ever had, my favorite from what I've tried, is probably Sonny's.
Okay, I'd never even heard of it.
It's on Second and Market. It's really, really good. It's decent price, like for the area, like
right.
So that's probably I haven't been there in a while, probably since before COVID. So like it's been a while, but
okay.
From what I remember, I've been there a handful of times
for sure.
Yeah,
there's also a place
we might have to actually go do a cheesesteak day and just review it.
We might. There's this one cheesesteak spot that I haven't been to yet, and it's funny because for anybody that doesn't know, I'm a delivery driver. But the area that I do is in Camden. And there's a place in Camden called Donkey's, and apparently it's absolutely unreal. And I pass by it almost like every other day. Yeah, I have yet to have it, and I hear it's phenomenal. That's on my list of places.
Okay, you're not allowed to get it without me because I really have to try it too. I've heard And when we had Brian Propp on a couple weeks ago, I wanted to ask him because it was brought up in the Goldbergs, the TV show. The Goldbergs, we should have asked them how it was like, what it's like to, be a kind of semi part of a show. Like, but that's the first place I heard of Donkeys in Camden. Like, let's go get a cheesesteak, and I was just like, what? And then I looked into it, and it's like a whole thing. Yeah. They do it on like a poppy seed, like or something.
It's I don't know if it's poppy seed. It might be like a Kaiser roll, I think.
Yeah, it's like a Kaiser poppy.
Yeah, but I pass by it all the time, and it smells.
I'm all about that.
It smells unreal. Yeah. So you're right. I won't go there without you. If I go, you'll be there with me.
All right, cool.
All right, so let's move on to the next one. So we got Don asked us from Drunk on Broad, our boy over there. Asked us a few questions. Number one, what non-sports show are you watching?
Okay, I'm watching two shows right now, actually.
Okay.
First one is Ozark.
Okay.
We just started the new season. It's
that with
really
Jason
good so
Bateman?
far. Yep.
Okay.
It's just another one of those shows / movies where he gets bullied around, and you know that's my beef. I have a little beef with Bateman, but
what's your beef with Bateman?
It's just everything he plays, like the soft guy, like he gets bullied around, like Juno, like
he
hates obviously hates his wife. He falls in love with a girl, like, and
couples retreats the same way.
Yeah, exactly. He gets bullied in couples retreat, like he gets bullied in every movie. I love him. He's a great actor, and I think he's great in Ozark. And that's just a small beef. Nothing crazy, but
he is phenomenal, and I don't even know if I could say. I guess he kind of plays a similar actor in Horrible Bosses.
Yeah,
that movie's one of the funniest movies ever. It's so funny.
Yeah. He gets bullied by what's his face? His boss. Who's his boss?
I forget. That's not what's his name. It's not Kevin Spacey, is it?
Yeah, it's Kevin Spacey.
Okay,
yeah. So I mean, it's everything. It's just that's what he does.
Yeah.
But this, I mean, he doesn't get that bullied that much in this, but like he's taking orders. So but I don't know if you know anything about the show.
I've heard it's good. I've never seen it.
It's great. I think every episode of it is great, but the pilot is one of the best pilots I've ever seen of any show ever. Again, it stays great, but that pilot is like one of the best ever. Basically he just launders money for the Mexican cartel, and they're in the Ozarks, in Missouri, and like the KC mob gets involved, like other people get involved in the community that sell drugs, and he basically opens up a casino. Like it's great. It's great. So I'm watching that, and I'm also watching Pam and Tommy. I just started that.
Is it good?
I've only seen the first episode so far. It's I mean, for the first episode, it was really good. I've heard the first 1 or 2 episodes were a little okay, and then it starts to get really good. But there's a lot of people on that.
I haven't seen any of it yet. I plan to eventually. I hear the casting's unreal. Like Pam and Tommy, they look identical.
Dude, he is sick.
Yeah.
So, do you know who plays Tommy?
I do not know.
Bucky Barnes from Marvel. Sebastian Stan.
Okay.
He's the guy. He's the Winter Soldier.
Is he? Yeah. Okay.
So he plays Tommy, and Lily James. You saw Baby Driver?
Yeah, that's the
The
one
girl.
with who's the actor in that? Is that it's not important. Move on.
Yeah, no, it's not. No, I know who he is though.
Yeah.
Ansel Igor. That's his
Yeah.
name.
Okay. Yeah.
So the girl in that, the waitress,
Okay.
she plays Pamela
Okay.
Anderson. Seth Rogen's in it. He's like the dude who like finds the tape.
Right.
Nick Offerman. I don't know if you're familiar with him from Parks and Rec.
Okay. Yeah.
I
know what you're talking about.
What's his face? Why can't I fucking think of names tonight?
I don't know. I've only seen like bits and pieces of Parks.
Oh, really? I thought you saw the whole thing.
Nah, I think I saw maybe a season or two.
Okay. Yeah. So.
I'm not. Listen, I don't. I'll be honest. I don't watch much TV. Like it was just with the two kids running around. Like by the time it's bedtime, it's 9 o'clock, and I'm ready to go to sleep.
Right.
Or I'll turn on a hockey game or something. So like I have two shows that are on my list of like I want to watch them soon, and that's this show that everybody keeps talking about, Euphoria. Apparently it's like Unreal.
Oh, it's really good. I'm watching that too.
Are you okay? Yeah. Apparently that's Unreal. I want to start watching that, and then I'm also intrigued by How I Met Your Father. I don't expect much from it.
Yeah.
But I kind of want to dive into that.
I'm watching that too.
Just I'm curious. Is that any good?
Hold on.
Yep, you're good.
Sorry, I got the charger. The computer's died. We'd be screwed.
Yeah, it would not be good.
So I'm watching both of those shows. Let's start with Euphoria first. Euphoria. The first season, I'm going to tell you right now, it's very much like just kids like doing drugs and partying. And the second season so far, so they did two like long episodes, like I think they're like an hour and a half each, in between the first and second season because COVID like kind of screwed everything up. And then finally, the I guess the second to last episode was last night. This season definitely goes more into like, so Zendaya plays like an addict basically, and
right.
It kind of really goes into her like roller coaster of going on and off,
addiction, basically.
Yeah,
probably.
And like, and it really like, dude, if she does not get an Emmy this Emmy season,
she's
like
incredible.
Dude, she's amazing. Like, and if you think she is a beautiful girl, but like, she's a 10 times better actor than like she's not like a lot of people say Brad Pitt's just and George Clooney are like the looks, you know.
Yeah.
Leo has the looks and he can act. Like Zendaya is kind of the same. And like you kind of see her character kind of do a roller coaster of between the addiction, the roller coaster of her character, just kind of like the relationship with her mom and her sister, then the relationship with her friends, and who's giving her what and who's not giving her what. Like it's amazing. This season has been, and a lot of people like after the first season were saying like, oh, this is one of the best shows on TV. And I'm like, it's good, but like I don't know if it's one of the best. This season has been really, really, really good.
Okay, yeah, I definitely want to check that out. That's on my list.
And then How I Met Your Mother. I've only seen the first 2 or 3 episodes.
How I Met Your Father.
How I Met Your Father. Sorry. I saw the first 2 or 3 episodes. It's pretty good so far. It just got renewed for a second season.
Did it really? Okay, like, I don't expect much.
Yeah.
Because it's a quirky, just spin-off. Like none of them are ever good. So
it's 20, 25 minutes of like just relax and watch a show. Like it's not you're not going to get anything out of like.
I'm not dying to see it. I'm just intrigued.
There's no like depth to it like Euphoria or Game of Thrones or
exactly.
The Sopranos, but
but
yeah.
All right. Let's move on to Don's next question. What is the best sports event you've seen in person?
Best sports event in person.
Like I was thinking of this, and it's funny. I think I picked I think I had 4 come off the top of my mind, and all of them are hockey, and 2 of them I was with you. So
okay.
Where
are you?
So the one that comes to my mind is the Stadium Series in Philly.
Okay, yeah.
The other one that comes to mind that you weren't at was the Stadium Series in Pittsburgh.
Okay.
Which was an awesome time because it was like 2 or 3 days we went for the weekend. It was more of an event. The group of guys that I went with. Then one of the times was here. All right. Let me pull this up for the screen. Anybody
there you go.
It.
Yeah.
So I was with you at this game, right?
Yep, I have that somewhere. Yep.
Right. So the last game at the Spectrum, the Flyers' last game at the Spectrum, September 27th, 2008, against who they played? Carolina? Yeah, Carolina Hurricanes.
Yeah.
Just the atmosphere was unreal. The last game there, it was really cool to be there, and obviously you were with me, so that was a cool event. But my all-time favorite probably isn't even like a
I know
professional
exactly what you're
sports
gonna
team.
say. Yeah.
Do you? Okay,
Well, they're professional, but
they're
not,
yeah, I guess they're
not,
professional.
like, yeah.
But in 2004, the Calder Cup final, Game 4,
Yeah.
the Philadelphia Phantoms were playing at home at the Spectrum against the Chicago Wolves, and it was for the sweep, the sold out place. Now that was a year of the lockout too, so you had Patrick Sharp on that team, Mike Richards,
I was
Jeff
gonna
Carter.
say before
they were stacked.
Yeah, before as I think of mine, I'm giving mine. I want you to pull up a roster. I'm kind of curious to see like who was on that roster. Do you have any more like that?
No, those were the 4 that came off the top of my mind.
Oh man, I don't know how many games I've actually been to that like really stick out. Like we talked about before, me and I have seen Barry Bonds. The year he retired, I think it was the year he retired. That was pretty cool. I've seen I've seen Steph Curry. They almost lost that game actually to the Sixers, the process Sixers.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I went to I think it was 2000. It was 2009. It was either 2009 or 2010. I went to a game in September for the Phillies. They were like 3 games out of clinching the spot, like the playoff spot. So we had the rally towels. They like won the game, and then they were 2 games out or 2 games away from winning. I went to like I said before, I went to the Jake Elliott record kick game the year of the Super Bowl. What was that, 61?
Right.
Or 63 yards, whatever it was. And like you said, the Stadium Series and the last game at the Spectrum. Remember Riley Cote beat the balls off of somebody.
Yeah.
Next to the bench. Trying to think if there's anything like really. I went to a Flyers playoff game against the Rangers. They lost.
Okay.
I went to the Eagles versus Saints playoff game. The year like the St. Nick, the Foles year, was that like 2013?
Right. Yeah. Something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and they lost that. I'm not allowed to go to any playoff games.
I'm surprised. I'm surprised you didn't name, because you said it on Drunk on Broad a couple weeks ago. I'm surprised it's not a game, but when you went to the draft.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Yeah, easily top 3, probably my favorite sporting event I've ever been to. Top 5 moments in my life. Like that's how fun it was. Just drink all day and watch the draft, but and it was free. So like
right. So I do have the. Did you have any?
Yeah, no, that's all I could really think of off the top of my head.
Because I have the 05. So it was the 04-05 season.
Okay.
It was. So I do have the roster, the playoff roster. Patrick Sharp.
Okay.
John Sim. I don't know who that is. Ryan Reddy.
You remember John Sim, number 11?
No.
Yeah, I remember John Sim. He played for the Flyers for a little bit.
Ryan Reddy, Tony Vos, I don't know how to say that. Mark Murphy, Todd Fedoruk, Mike Richards, Riley Cote, R.J. Umberger, Ben Eager, Josh Gratton. They were fucking tough lineup too. Ben Stafford, Eric Maloche, Boyd Kane, and Jeff Carter on as their forwards.
Yeah.
And their defense: Freddie Meyer, Dave Prince, Randy Jones, Charlie Cook, Alexander Picard, Dennis Seidenberg, Yoni Pitkinen, John Slaney, Wade Skolny, and then their goalies were Antero Niittymaki and Neil Little.
Niittymaki killed it.
Yeah, he did.
Oh man,
but
some of those names.
I mean, Mike Richards, Jeff Carter, Patrick Sharp, R.J. Umberger, and then on defense, Yoni Pitkinen, Dennis Seidenberg. I mean,
yeah.
The team was stacked. Because, I mean, a lot of those guys were NHLers, but there was no NHL season because of the lockout, so they were all AHL eligible, and they swept Chicago in 4, and the atmosphere at the Spectrum was nuts.
Yeah, I remember R.J. Umberger, like, remember the Buffalo series where he got hit?
Yeah, he got destroyed. Coming out
that same day, I think it might have been like the day before, that same day. I don't know what game it was. I think it was early in the series, either game 1 or game 2. That game, but before the series started, I don't know, what year was that? 05, 06?
The game I was talking about?
No, the Buffalo series.
Oh,
when
the Buffalo series.
It was probably like a year or 2 after that. So like,
I think it was 06 because I would think it was the year that they played Buffalo, or the year that Danny Briere was on Buffalo, which was 06. He came to the Flyers in
07, 08,
I think. Yeah.
So I just before that series started, whatever grade I was in, 4th grade.
Right.
my school went to because the school I went to again in South Philly, we were walking distance to the stadium. So we went to this. I think it was right outside the Spectrum. They had like a rally for the like a Flyers rally for the playoffs.
Right.
And I remember I wore my Keith Primo jersey and I had it signed by Bob Kelly and Dave Schultz.
Okay.
And there was a huge elephant, and all the elephant was doing was just squashing watermelons.
Like a real elephant?
Yeah. With he was squashing a watermelon with the Buffalo Sabres logo painted on the watermelon.
Okay, I
thought it was the coolest thing in the world. Yeah. I met Bob Kelly and Dave Schultz. I had no idea who they were, but it was just kind of cool.
Absolutely.
So I just remember that before that series, because the Sabres were still the red, black, and white or whatever they were.
Yeah, apparently they're going back to that as like an alternate. It's
really
rumored. It's rumored that they're going back to that. Just go back to that
altogether.
Agreed. And then Don also asked top 5 sports movies. Now I feel like we've done this before. We did like a top 10 list. I don't know if I could just rattle off 5 off the top of my head though. I mean, Miracle is always at the top. Mystery Alaska is always at the top. It's the hockey movies for me. Slapshot's at the top. Rocky's there. And if I had to name one more, I don't remember what.
Mine would be probably more baseball, personally.
Yeah, right.
But Miracle's probably is top 5. Sandlot,
Major League might almost
probably not top 5 for me.
Yeah, it's close, but maybe not top 5.
Field of Dreams is definitely number 2.
Yeah.
Remember the Titans is number 1. So how many is that? 4?
3 or 4.
Field of Dreams, Remember the Titans, Sandlot.
It's 3.
What else did I say? Miracle and
4.
Yeah, I don't know. But I really have to we did this before on the show.
Yeah,
I don't really remember exactly.
I don't remember
what
my list was. Yeah, me neither.
I love Hoosiers.
Right,
that's a really good movie.
Depending on
Glory Road's really good too. If you've never seen Glory Road,
I've never seen it.
Definitely watch that. That's probably higher than Hoosiers, honestly.
So there's back to my hockey, my love for hockey. There's this it's not I guess technically it's a movie. There's a documentary on Disney Plus that just came out. It's a pretty old documentary. I've seen it before, but it's about the 1980 Miracle on Ice game.
Okay.
But it's from a different story. Instead of telling it from the U.S. point of view, they tell it from the Russia point of view, and it's really interesting. I recommend people listen.
I'm anti-Soviet, so
fair enough. I get that, but it's really interesting to see the other side of it.
It's a touchy subject right now, man.
That's true.
We're just waiting for the alert. Yeah, we're waiting for the alert for this draft.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly.
And not a sports draft.
No, different kind of draft.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on then. So then Michael asked, I think he's still in the chat here. He said he had a riddle because he just likes to cause drama. Let me pull it up here.
I'm not good at riddles.
What is more powerful than God, but more evil than the devil? If you eat it, you will die. Poor people have it. Rich people need it. What is it? Now, I've actually heard this one before.
Yeah, I have too.
Okay, so you have. All right. So I was going to ask you if you know what it is. But since we both heard it, the answer is nothing, right?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah, no,
nothing.
I've heard that. Yep.
Yeah, I've heard it. So sorry to ruin your fun, Michael.
Right before, as we were going to the intro, pull back the curtains a little bit, I texted Mike. I'm like, did you see the riddle? Because I didn't see it. I saw that he... Listen, I'm somebody who likes to have genuine reactions.
Yeah.
So there are things that I'll tell Mike that not to share with me until the show comes, or vice versa. So I saw the riddle and I was like, oh, I didn't read the riddle. I just saw that there was a riddle there. So I texted him real quick. I was like, did you see the riddle? He's like, yeah, I got it. I was like, all right, cool. That way I get the genuine reaction. But
I didn't realize that's why you texted it to me.
Yeah.
He texted me about it. Okay. And then he also did have a question here. I want to hear your opinion on the trade rumors of Giroux. Is it happening? And if so, where and what should we get back? I mean, that's a loaded question in itself.
Yeah. And we've talked about that a couple times.
We have.
I'm not sure if anything really changed either.
At this point, how does he not get traded?
I've seen things where people are saying at this point, if let's say they're not going in that full rebuild, why not bring him back if they're just going to try next year? Whether they should or shouldn't is a totally different discussion, different topic for a different day. But if they're going to go into that direction, people are saying, well, why not keep him around? Why not try to re-sign him for, cheaper? But you know what? Let's have that conversation today. They should just rebuild. I honestly, to me right now, the only untouchable is Gritty. So
even him, I'm fine. See ya
in the right deal.
Yeah, in the right deal. Yeah, see you later. What do we need Gritty for?
Cool.
Is there an untouchable on this team? I don't know that there is. I don't know that there is.
Would you consider untouchable and unwilling different terms?
I mean, I think they're kind of similar.
Okay, because I'm trying to think of a word where I'd rather keep Carter Hart than because I'm not saying he's totally 100% untouchable, but it's going to be really fucking hard to get him. And look, sure, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah, but that's different. That's not an untouchable though.
Well, as I'm saying, untouchable is not the word, but it's really close to untouchable.
Yeah,
is what I'm saying.
Right. No. And I'm kind of on that spot too. But there's something to be said for if you are going the full rebuild route, he might be good enough to keep you in games where you're not going to be at the bottom of the stand. I mean, they're at the bottom of the standings this year anyway, so maybe that thinking is flawed. But yeah, I mean, there's really no untouchable. I mean, they got to strip this thing down and. But at the same time,
waiting for a goalie for so long.
But at the same, I know that's true too. But at the same time, and the way that I keep thinking about it is I can't keep making excuses for this team because we've seen the same thing happen year in, year out. But you look at what happened to Ryan Ellis 4 games into the year. You look at not having Hayes for the whole year. Sean Couturier has been hurt pretty much the whole year. Can you retool and be competitive? You can be competitive if you retool. Yeah. Will they be a Stanley Cup contender? I don't know.
That's fair.
I mean,
dude, it's so tough because you do bring up those points, and it's maybe they do just think about adding instead of in the offseason. But at the same time, it's just nothing has changed in the last 12 years.
Yeah.
So
I'm hearing people, say, well, why don't you just trade Giroux because he's a UFA and then just sign him in the offseason? It's that happened.
Right.
That's happened 5 times in the history of the sport. It doesn't happen where you trade a rental and he comes back.
Right.
Just doesn't happen.
And he's got to want to come back too.
Yeah. By all accounts, it sounds like he wants to be here.
Yeah.
Whether it's for his family or whether his blind loyalty to the franchise, because he's a loyal guy to a fault pretty much, but.
Yeah,
it seems like he wants to be here. So, but
if
anybody's going to do something like that, Giroux's probably on that list. But if he goes to a place like, I don't know, Colorado, where he's oh shit, I'm playing with Nathan McKinnon and Mikko Rantanen and Kel McCarr, I'm not going back to Philly. No way.
Yeah, no, I got you. I mean, it's the same thing with Odell Beckham. Going from the Giants and the Browns to the Rams winning a Super Bowl, playing with Cooper Kupp and Tyler Higbee and Matthew Stafford and Jalen Ramsey. So I got you, but it's so tough. It really is. I really don't know what to do.
Yeah,
I really don't know. Not that I get paid to do that, because again, if I did, I'd have a lot more money than I do now. But
exactly.
But I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, me neither. So, I mean,
it's kind of like that Ben Simmons trade. I'm trying Ben Simmons talk where it's another week of talking about Giroux. Is he going to get traded? Is he not going to get traded? Is he going to get traded? Is he not going to get traded?
The deadline's about a month away. So,
right.
Usually, the conversation doesn't ramp up until 2 weeks out. So, I mean, maybe we'll hear stuff in a couple weeks, but it's probably going to be quiet till then. The one thing I will say is, it feels like Giroux and the Flyers are kind of avoiding the inevitable. The fact that there was a press conference the other day where Giroux was telling everybody, I haven't even had that conversation with Chuck Fletcher yet. That has to be bullshit, right?
Yeah.
That can't be right.
Yeah, I obviously we don't know, but because we're not behind closed doors, but it's just one of those things. I
find that hard to believe, though.
You just think these fans are so stupid,
right?
And we're not the brightest freaking bulbs in the bunch, but there's no way. There is no way.
And listen, at the end of the day, if Giroux doesn't want to get traded and he kind of wants to go down with the ship, one, I brought it up, it's blind loyalty. And 2, that kind of tells me all I need to know about his desire to win.
But I'm not gonna say his desire to win doesn't matter, because it does, because he plays for us and we want to see them win. But like, I don't know. I don't know.
He's not winning here. He's not.
No,
winning.
I know.
So if you're a bottom 5 team in the NHL, wouldn't you rather just get traded to a contender and try to legitimately win something? And he's not going to be, if he gets traded to a contender, it's not like the Chemo Timonen trade, right, where he just kind of hops on the coattails of a great Chicago team, does barely plays. Like Drew, if he goes to a contender, will be a legitimate contributor, so he can contribute to a Stanley Cup. And if he doesn't want any parts of that, and he would rather be a bottom 5 team in the NHL, he doesn't want to win.
But can you say the same thing about Damian Lillard, though? Like, does Damian Lillard not want to win because he wants to stay in Portland? Granted, the situation's a little different.
Yeah,
but like,
a little different.
But is it, though? Like, is it that much different? Like, Portland has tried the last 3 or 4 or 5 years to really put people around him. Yeah, I think he wants to win. He just wants to win on his team. He wants to be the guy. And look, the NBA is way different. Like, you probably respect a guy more for wanting to stay on his team in the NBA because they decide where they want to go whenever they want to go.
The NBA is a whole different beast because, like, if, the same 4 to, I don't even want to say 6th, the same 4 to 5 teams are in it every year. It's a big market teams. The people that can spend money. The small market teams have no chance. Next to no chance. That's not true. Next to no chance.
The small market team just won the finals last year, and they played another small market team.
How often does that happen?
I have to look at a list. Dallas. How many times has Dallas won or been to the finals?
Sure, but I feel like it's just
Golden State.
Like...
Come on, Golden State.
Yeah, I guess
there was nothing before Cleveland.
Yeah. I guess you're right.
I mean, take the Miamis out of it. When have the Knicks done anything?
Not true.
Outside of the Lakers and the Heat in the last 15 years. I mean,
that's fair. But comparing them together, like, is Portland a bottom 5 team in the NBA?
Like, factual or off the top of my head?
Like right now, are they a bottom 5?
Probably, yeah, probably both. Yeah.
You think they are? Okay.
Probably, yeah. They traded everybody.
Yeah.
They traded everybody at the deadline because they're doing what the Flyers are doing. In the offseason, they're going to bring in as much talent as they possibly can.
I don't know enough about the situation to really speak on it, like, in terms of the Drew trade. I'm just saying, seem like he wants to win. Or he wants to win, but he wants to do it here, and like he doesn't have a strong desire to win because he's gonna go down with the ship.
Yeah, but like I kind of respect that though. Like, if you want to stay in a place, well, I mean, you said it last week or the week before how much you respect Damian Lillard for wanting to stay in Portland, but and again, I understand it's a totally different sport. It's these NBA players decide where they want to go, when they want to go, how they want to go. Whenever they want, I understand that, but and Damian Lillard's a way better basketball player than Drew is a hockey player.
Sure, it's also just a completely different sport where one guy can dominate a game.
Actually, you know what? They're in a playoff. I mean, they're not in a playoff spot. They're 10th. Okay. So if the season ends today, they're playing the play-in game, which is the stupidest fucking rule in the world.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just too. I just feel like it's apples to oranges because, like, again, a basketball, one player can dominate the game a lot more than one single NHL player can.
No, I gotcha.
And the fact that Drew's been here for 12 years, give or take,
15, almost.
15, yeah, right, yeah. It
was
more than 12.
08 was his rookie year.
Right. So the fact that it's been that long and this organization's failed you year after year after year, playing Michael Raffle, on your first line, having Andrew McDonald playing top pair minutes, like, the organization just failed him miserably. Why are you staying?
Yeah, listen. I mean, look. When you're comfortable somewhere, look at what Prop said a couple weeks ago. Coming to this city, it's different. It's you want to stay here. You love the fans. You love the organization. I mean, the last 4 or 5 years have been a little different, but with this organization. But I don't know. I mean, I hope he does leave and go and wins somewhere because I love Drew that much. But, like, I don't fault the guy for wanting to stay. Like, I don't think it's the craziest thing in the world.
I guess. I don't know.
We can agree to disagree. That's right. That's the whole point of the show.
That's fair.
And to call each other idiots, but, like,
that's true. We haven't done that in a while.
No, it's been a while. Yeah, you're an idiot. No, I'm just kidding.
All Let's move on. That's all the Flyers deserve on the
right.
show. So we're gonna bring it back. We're gonna do Who Am I this week. Are you ready?
So was born ready.
I
don't know. The guy that's supposed to host this show when I'm gone for that week, he's talking a lot of shit in the comments. So like,
is he?
It's less likely of a chance of me allowing it to happen. So
that's true.
He keeps calling me something that it's not my name. So and he's replacing it with another letter. So I don't know, man. If you want to keep talking, I got some power.
That's a fair point. So I have two. Okay. Did you want me to do both or just one and save one till later?
Yeah, no, let's fire them in both.
Because listen, last week I did the one, and you're like, I kind of wish you had another one. Yeah. So I made sure I was prepared. I got two this week.
Let's do it. I'm fired up. Let's go.
Let's do the first one. Clue number 1. I was signed as an international free agent by the Arizona Diamondbacks in the summer of 1998.
Okay. Now this is Philly sports too, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I spent 14 seasons in the MLB.
Okay.
Clue number 3. In 2000, I was one of the players traded to the Phillies for Curt Schilling.
Ooh, okay.
I started as a relief pitcher and was moved into the starting role in 2002. It looks like you're. I
had a guess, but I guess it's no longer because if they were going to say relief pitcher to closer.
Okay. My first year as a starter, I went 14-11 with an ERA of 3.28 and played in my first and only All-Star game.
And what year?
My first year as a starter, so 02.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
My career record is 108 and 91. That probably doesn't help at all.
Which question is this?
That was clue number 6.
Okay.
Clue number 7. I also played for the Texas Rangers, LA Dodgers, Arizona Diamondbacks, and Boston Red Sox.
Okay.
And number 8.
I got a guess.
Do you? Who's your guess?
Is it Pedro?
It is not.
Okay. I didn't think so. I knew he played for the Dodgers and the Red Sox.
Right.
But he played for the Expos, so that didn't work out.
In 2009, I was released by the Rangers because I was regarded as a disruptive clubhouse presence.
Okay.
Doug's roasting you in the comments here. So I gave you 8. So clue number 9. In the 1998 World Cup, I won a bronze medal as the closer for Nicaragua.
Is it Jose Mesa?
It is not Jose Mesa.
Oh my god!
I don't think he was never a starter.
No, he was never a starter. That's why I got confused with, I thought it was relief pitcher to closer.
And then the final clue. I pitched against the Phillies as a member of the Dodgers in the 2009 NLCS. It's funny. So this week I gave these clues to a friend of the show, Doug, and he actually guessed Jose Mesa as well.
Okay, so he was a starter against the Phillies, and he played for the Phillies, right?
He did, yes.
Okay. Oh, man. International. It sucks because we don't have all night to sit here because I feel like I could get it eventually.
You probably could get it eventually if you just start rattling off guys.
I'm just trying to think of early 2000 starters. Obviously, it can't be Brett Myers. Is it Brett Myers?
It is not. No.
He was drafted.
He's international. And no, he's not international, is he?
No, I was just thinking of Canada or some shit. I don't know.
He but also said he won a bronze for Nicaragua.
Yeah, right. I don't know. Starting pitcher. It would help if I knew how long he played for the Phillies.
2002. He's he's traded in 2000 to the Phillies, and I don't remember. I mean, I could give you that year, if that helps. I mean, you already got all your clues, but hold on. Let me look this up. Hold on.
Okay.
Let me see what year he played for the Phillies. He played for the Phillies from 2000 to 2005.
Dude, I got nothing.
So no guess?
No guess. I'll give a guess, but it's probably not going to be right. No, I don't know.
It would be Vicente Padilla.
Vicente Padilla. Wow. Yeah. Okay. I would have never gotten that in 100 years.
Ring a bell though now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Vicente Padilla against I as the Dodgers, like that's Dodgers Rangers. That makes sense.
Yeah, he pitched in Game 2 and Game 5 of the NLCS series against the Phillies in 2009. So
I gotcha.
All right, so then the second one. Clue number 1, I was signed as an undrafted free agent by the Philadelphia Eagles in 2003.
Okay.
I went to college at Boise State University.
Okay.
I played in the NFL for 11 seasons.
11? You cut out right there.
11, yes. Okay. Yes. I also played for the St. Louis Rams and Carolina Panthers.
Okay.
I was a second-team All-Pro twice in my career.
Okay.
I made the Pro Bowl for the first and only time in 2009.
Okay.
You look confused.
No, go ahead.
Okay. I played for the Eagles from 2003 to 2010.
I have a guess.
Okay, who is it?
Carl Buckhalter?
It is not Carl Buckhalter.
Okay.
Clue number 8. I was voted by my teammates as the Eagles special teams MVP in 2005 and 2006.
Reno Mahe.
No. This one's a little tough, I'll be honest.
Yeah. Well,
you're going to hear the name.
Vicente Padilla wasn't really tough. Haven't heard that name since fucking 2010.
Well, I mean, listen, you got to get back into the back of the mind of yours,
hey.
You know?
Yeah.
Okay, clue number 9. I was a backup on defense until an injury in the secondary forced me into a starting role in 2007.
Quentin Michael?
It is Quentin Michael.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, there you go. So that clue gave it away, yeah.
Yeah.
And then clue number 10, I don't know if you remember the specific play because I didn't when I was doing some research.
Okay.
This was the final clue. On Christmas Day in 2006 against the Dallas Cowboys, I helped give the Eagles a win by tackling Marion Barber on 4th and goal to seal the victory.
Okay, I remember the play. I didn't remember it was him.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. Then I think Carolina Panthers, like I kind of vaguely remember him on Carolina.
Right.
But I remember him playing. I guess he played. Who did it say who was hurt?
Yeah, Sean Considine.
Okay,
Considine. Yeah.
Yeah, because he played next to Dawkins for a little bit, and
yeah,
I remember he made a couple big plays in that year or that game or whatever it was, and
yep. I tried to narrow it down. That's why I said secondary instead of safety. I didn't want to narrow it down too much, but hey, listen, you won. You went 1 for 1 this week. So.
Yeah, I'm happy I got the Eagles one.
Yeah. After the first 7 clues, you were probably a little clueless there.
Yeah,
you didn't think you quit. Yeah, you didn't think.
No,
I
was thinking even after you said no to Carl Buckhalter, I was thinking it's got to be Carl Buckhalter, but
it definitely was not. Yeah,
it surely was not.
No. All right. Anything else you got going on? I guess one last question before we get out of here.
Okay.
What's going on in the MLB with this lockout? Are they going to figure this shit out?
Listen, a lot of people are sitting here saying, "Oh, don't worry about it. We're gonna get baseball back. We're gonna get baseball back." I don't know. Like, I don't know.
We're gonna get it back. Whether we get it back April 4th or whenever the season's supposed to start, whether we get it, early April or June is a whole different conversation. We'll get it back at some point.
I really hope we get it back as soon as possible because I'll be in Los Angeles at a Dodgers game, hopefully. First second week of April. So. I'm hoping we get it back.
Apparently, they were meeting today. There was like a 3+ hour long meeting.
Oh, that's
which
good.
is something we haven't seen yet. So
yeah, because
finally working.
It was like last week or the week before. It was like their biggest meeting yet, and it was like 15 minutes, and like they stormed out.
Yeah,
whatever side it was, but like
the last I checked, it was going on 3 hours. I didn't see what the final total was, so I know it was over 3 hours.
Okay, well that's something.
So it's optimistic, I guess.
I guess if they push it back, if they push back spring training a week.
Yeah.
They feel as though that they're closer than they were a month ago or 2 weeks ago or whatever it was, which is definitely, a good thing.
Yeah.
But it's just when they get like at some point this week are they going to announce it for another week back and then another week back, like
right.
So
Probably.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to do something here.
Well, yeah. I mean, got to figure it out. I mean, we talk about all the time how baseball's a dying sport. Like,
right.
Just figure out the money and get on the field because you need it. Like, you need it at this point.
Yep. How do you feel at the DH in the NL? I think we've talked about it before, but I don't remember.
I like it. I think I don't know. I'm kind of an old school sports fan. I mean, I know I'm younger, but I tend to agree with like the old school crowd.
Me
with
too.
Certain things.
Me too.
But for the DH, I think it makes sense because why are you giving the pitcher an easy out?
Right.
Is my point.
Are people really gonna cry that they can't watch a pitcher hit?
Right, exactly. And
they
like people
hit
say
93 on the year. Like that's
right.
Average.
People say, "Oh, well, the strategy to bunt." It's like, "Oh, great! I'm so happy. I watched the exciting sport of baseball to see a fucking bunt laid down."
And the catcher can bunt too. Like you know what I mean? Like if you have a shitty ass catcher hitting and you need somebody to bunt, like he can bunt too. Like he's probably can bunt better. Like
right.
No, I agree.
Yeah, for a sport that needs more action and offense, and you just get rid of the pitching spot altogether. And you always see these pitchers get hurt on like freak sliding injuries and shit like that, sliding to home plate or whatever. Like just get rid of it.
And we can watch Joe Girardi strategize less in a game.
That's true.
Good.
Yep.
So
that is true. It definitely takes some out of the manager's hands for sure.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, no, I'm for it. I like it.
Plus, it gives you another like option to like get another power hitter or like some kind of hit because DH hitters are usually power hitters, but like
theoretically,
it just brings another like good hitter in your lineup. You know, like on your roster.
So that question actually sparked another question, and this is the final question before we get out of here. What is your opinion on a robo ump?
I hate it.
Okay.
I just think the imperfect game should stay imperfect. It's a game that is very much. I mean, all sports are imperfect, you know, but every single solitary play is based off of what one person is seeing. So like to me, like if a ball listen, we complain, oh, that wasn't a strike or that wasn't a ball, but that is the game. Like it's called by one person who's watching this game, watching that pitch. I just think that it's kind of okay, so it's kind of like music where like you can use auto-tune, you can use things that like make your instrument sound a lot better, but like if it has that realness to it, like that's what makes it even more enjoyable and like better to watch and better to listen to and this and the other. And I feel it kind of similar to an umpire. Like an umpire's supposed to miss calls. Like that's what the game is. It's been that way for 100 years. Like he's supposed to miss balls and strikes by a hair, and you're supposed to complain about it. Like RoboCop's like, God forbid, Robo umps.
Where did that come from?
I was just thinking Robo and just RoboCop came out. So Robo umpires. I just think it's just gonna be even more of a headache and even more of a mess. And you know, it's just you're still gonna have umpire back there, but the computer said that it was a strike. So
right,
what do you want me to do?
Yeah, I agree with pretty much all of that. The only thing I would say is for people to stop bitching about balls and strikes because again, that's just the game.
It's a part of the game.
Yeah. And it's part strategy from a pitching point of view because like, all right, he's been calling that inside pitch, a strike.
Even a hitter.
I'm gonna keep painting that. Yeah, right. Yeah, or a hitter.
I'm gonna lay off of that hit. I'll lay off that pitch. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, definitely. And it's just it's an imperfect game, and like that's the whole point of baseball. Is
I agree.
It's close calls and RoboCop.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. And real quick, another game that I went to actually.
Okay.
It was 2007. Chase Utley broke his hand against the Washington Nationals afternoon game. It was 145 degrees outside on like a Tuesday afternoon. Actually, the funny part about it is, so my dad used to work nights at that point, and he bought me tickets. We went to the game. We sat in the stands, and again, it's like a Tuesday afternoon for whatever reason. It's like the Nemours, like kids run the bases or whatever. I said all winter, Dad, I want to go to the game. Dad, I want to go to that game. I want to go run the bases. Of course, when we get there, you're going to run the bases? Absolutely not. Are you crazy? I'm not going down there. He wanted to strangle me, but like,
of course he did. Yeah.
But like, again, it was 175 degrees out. And like, it was brutal. It was brutal. So he's like, if you're not going to run the bases, we're going to go home. Like it's way too hot. And like, I remember we were behind, the first baseline behind the dugout, and Utley comes up and a fastball right to his left hand, so I guess it's his right hand, the bottom hand, and you heard it, like you hear the snap, and he broke his hand. He was out for most of the year. So
oh wow,
I remember that was 2007.
There you go.
So a little funny story.
That is a funny story.
Like, right. You go run.
Yeah, exactly. Any final thoughts before we get out of here? Anything else on your mind?
No, I think that's it.
All right, fair enough. We're gonna get out of here. Listen, share it with everybody.
Yes,
share the show. You know,
your mom, your sister, your brother, your uncle, your dog, your cat. I don't care who it is.
Yeah, exactly. As long as they have a pulse,
yes,
that's all we care about.
Shit, I don't even care if they have a pulse. If they can, if somebody can play the button for them and they're dead, that's great.
Exactly,
it's got to play.
Exactly. So Apple Podcasts and Spotify, at Phired Up Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram, and YouTube. Yeah, that's all we got, and we will be back next Monday.